Now, the Farmers' Party become the biggest party in the parliament. Democracy works against the tyrants, the authoritarian tyrants of the World Economic Forum.
The Dutch government plans to cut greenhouse gas nitrogen by as much as 70% by 2030.
Has the Dutch government itself been cornered by the courts? And is that a consequence of European Union pressure?
They want the land because they need the land.
This is not about stikstof, as they call it here, nitrogen. This is about taking those farms and making tri-state city.
They have decided it's a political decision that that landscape cannot change.
It's leftish rubbish. The real aim here is to get rid of our farmers for some leftish nitrogen kind of agenda.
First of all, have I got that story right? Has the Dutch government itself been cornered by the courts? And is that a consequence of European Union pressure?
I think that they are very happy that that happened, though. And they go further than what the European Union has told them to do. So the Dutch government isn't innocent in this case. You know, they're not completely just cornered by the courts. They have gone further than what Brussels has told them to do. So I think that is very important because it shows you their true intent. And I think that the true intent that the government has is to get rid of our farmers. They want the land because they need the land. I'm sure we'll get to that in a bit, but it's definitely, I would say that there's definitely intent here, and it goes further than just being cornered by courts.
They've been cornered by the courts, but they're perfectly happy with that cornering and they're willing to take it farther. But
if you lose the farmers for one generation, you lose all that knowledge. You know, and I saw the government said, well, some of these farmers are just going to have to move. It's like, what are they going to do? They're going to move their farm. How are you going to do that? You can't move a farm. And it's not like these things are just, transferable, fungible in this simplistic manner. And so, yeah, it's such a form of insanity, and it's all justified by the fact that these half-wit globalists are claiming constantly to be moral because they're saving the planet.
so why does the EU and the courts and the environmentalists and the government have their panties in a knot, so to speak, about nitrogen per se? Like, what's the problem exactly that they're trying to address here? And why do they think that demolishing the farming industry is going to solve that problem? What's their goal? Like, if you had to frame it positively, what would their goal be?
Well, the story is that they want to preserve nature. So there are designated areas in the Netherlands that are natural reserves, so to say, and they have decided it's a political decision that that landscape cannot change. So it has to remain the same. It has to remain the same as it was, for example, 25 years ago. So that means that certain sand dunes, for example, can't have vegetation, or certain plants can't grow there. It needs to look exactly the same. So they say that that is to protect nature, but it's a political choice of how you want your country to look, how you want, the landscape, the countryside to look. So to me, that shows you that.
So the start of this is real. Yeah. Well, so they're pushing the pristine nature narrative.
Yes.
Fundamentally. How many farmers do you think are protesting at the moment, actively protesting in terms of absolute numbers?
Physically protesting, keeping in mind, I do these things around the world, so most of the people will be the support base that never go to a protest. So your support base is always difficult to measure, actually. But everybody, all the farmers that I speak with, Ava just mentioned sort of apathy may have set in, or resignation that they may not be able to defeat this government. Actually, if we're talking about nitrogen, we're talking about the wrong level, by the way. If we're talking about the details of this, we're already losing, because this is not about stikstof, as they call it here, nitrogen. This is about taking those farms and making tri-state city. Tri-state city is this giant city. You can see the maps. You and I have talked about it before when you were here, Jordan. Tri-state city is called tri-state city because it will take most or all of the Netherlands, part of Belgium, and part of Germany into this mega smart city, basically a control city. And it happens to end at Rotterdam, which is at the end of the railhead all the way from Shanghai. So the railway all the way from Shanghai, China, all the way across Asia will go right through the middle of tri-state city, and we'll be sitting in tri-state city right now. So you've got to take that farmland. If we go back in history and we look what Stalin did in the Ukraine, 32 and 33 in the Holodomor, one of the things the main people that he targeted were the kulaks, the farmers, right? So he did an information campaign. This is all about information war. He targeted the kulaks, labeled the kulaks. Labeling somebody a kulak was like, in a sense, labeling them Jewish or Polish in different eras, right? Or similar, same era, actually. But labeling people kulaks, then using the information war, convinced people that all their problems were the result of the kulaks. And if you just take their farms, your problems will go away. So basically did a replacement strategy, right? And so people came in, killed the kulaks, and took their farms and had a massive famine, right? Because the ability to farm. I talked with a fisherman yesterday at the protest. His family has been fishing since the 1400s, as far back as he can track it, right? Fishing and farming is what they know how to do, right? So when you do these replacement strategies, for instance, that Mao did, of course, Mao studied Stalin, you've got to get rid of the farmers. So it has nothing to do with nitrogen. That's completely irrelevant. Again, if we're talking nitrogen, we're losing. Now, on a bigger picture, you know that I study migration deeply. HOP, the human osmotic pressure. The human osmotic pressure is the push and pull of the migration. I just left Darien. I just left the Darien Gap between Panama and Colombia again. That's why I dressed in these funny clothes. And so I was just down there watching Chinese come through in large numbers, mostly military-age males. The Darien Gap is that area between Colombia and South America, between Colombia and Panama, where people it's an hourglass from Africa and Asia and South America through Panama up to the United States. So we have about 1,000 people a day coming through there right now from about 140 countries. Now back to work. Let's bring this back to Netherlands. There's a clear replacement strategy going on. That's what Stalin did with the Holodomor, right? Replacing the kulaks. That's what Mao did. That's what Pol Pot did. That's what so many other people, that's what they're working on now in South Africa and have done in other African countries, right? Right now, people are coming in from about 140 countries just through the Darien Gap. Here in Netherlands, or let's go over to Luxembourg, a neighbor of Netherlands. I was there last year, and approximately half of the country now is actually migrants. You can see that on their official website. Now, the migrants who are coming in are not monocultural. It's not just Afghans or Pakistanis or Yemenis or something like that. So the divide and conquer is already done in that regard. For instance, one pig farmer that I was with in Netherlands last week, I asked if he's hiring any migrants. He said yes. He had a bunch of Afghans who were great workers, he said. And but then they suddenly got their residence cards to live in Netherlands, and now they're getting paid to stay here, so they had to quit their work, right? He grows pigs and pears and Christmas trees. So then he hired some other people from Africa and other countries, Ukraine and other places, but he hires people from different countries that are migrants, right? But now they're already prepping, and Ava can talk more about this. They're prepping the Dutch mind, and they're doing the same in Finland and other places to start taking in migrants into your homes. They're not doing it yet. They're not ordering it. But there is a law in the Dutch books that in a case of emergency, you'll have to take people into your homes, right? And they're prepping this now in the news cycles. Like, they're not doing it, but just to put that in the back of your mind, one lady that lives in a big farmhouse after her family is gone and her husband has died, she doesn't need that big farmhouse. She can bring in some Somalis to live with her, right? They're prepping a replacement strategy. It's right in your face. It's right in your grill. I was down in Morocco last year watching the Moroccan government push people to Ceuta and Melilla, which are two Spanish cities that are in Morocco. And I was down in Greece watching the Turks push them over the border into Greece. I was up in Lithuania watching Belarus. That's when I started warning that something was about to happen. When we saw the Belarusians pushing migrants, they tried to push them into Poland. Poland did not allow it, of course. And then Lithuania allowed some in. I was up there for 5 weeks. The Lithuanians gave me complete access to their camps because I know people in the Lithuanian army because I was with them in Afghanistan. So they gave me complete access to the camps and to the border and to their intelligence people and their army and whatnot. And this was a clear weaponization of migration. It's weaponization of migration. This has gone on since forever. Again, that's what Stalin did.
What's the goal?